Today on Locked On Mammoth, it's our first iteration of the Growing the Game series, featuring our guest, Kelly Quiel.
You are Locked On Mammoth, your daily podcast on the Utah Mammoth, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into Locked On Mammoth. I'm veteran NHL voice Tom Callahan, joined by longtime team analyst Robyn Leaño. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every single day. When it comes to the Utah Mammoth, we appreciate you being here. And today, this is an awesome carryover series from the Coyotes days. Robyn loved doing the Grow the Game podcast, and we are pleased to continue that tradition on here in Utah on Locked On Mammoth. And our guest today is Kelly Quiel. Now, I got to give Kelly a proper introduction here. You can find her on Twitter at Salt City Fun. Second line center of the Utah Alpacas. Plays for the Utah Howl travel team and is also the UU women's hockey play-by-play voice.
Yeah, color.
Color.
I'm not good enough to do play-by-play, but I can throw my opinions in there.
Nice. So, I mean, that's a heck of a resume to bring to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm just so excited to chat. I'm so grateful that you guys have transitioned from the Coyotes over to the Mammoth. We love hearing the history along with some of this new stuff. So we're all just getting acquainted. It's great. It's great. It's great stuff.
Robyn, I know this is a series that you love, so I'm just going to let you steer the boat here because I know you get excited about this stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, because the thing is, for me, I always love highlighting people who are involved at the grassroots level. I mean, we always love talking the NHL. I always love talking pro hockey, but grassroots hockey is incredible. Seeing people who are kind of moving mountains that kind of create things here, and that's why we're bringing you on as the inaugural guest of the Mammoth iteration of the Grow the Game series here on the Locked On podcast. But what we want to do is start to get to know you. I mean, Tom already gave a little bit of an introduction, but tell us a little about you and your overall background in hockey.
So it's kind of funny because I have 2 kids now, and my son is getting started at ages 3 and 6. And I didn't start playing hockey until high school. And for whatever reason, I felt like it was a super good idea to join the men's team, the co-ed team, and play with them. And basically, I spent 2 years in high school hockey being hunted for them to just lay me out on the ice. My teams will tell you now that every time I go into the corner, I get nervous and just give the other person the puck because I'm so trained from being hunted in high school. And then I was lucky enough, probably 12-ish years ago now, to start kind of picking up drop in again, and then getting to play on a women's team. And after being hunted in high school and getting laid out constantly, being on a women's team now is just so much fun. Just a blessing. Like, I have had so many friendships develop, and just like you said, grassroots. We have so many women, especially for our Utah Alpacas team, who get started with us. And I've been so happy to be a part of that. Our Howl team has been traveling to tournaments. We're going to go play Robyn, hopefully in Portland in a few weeks. I'm excited about that. But I mean, we did not anticipate having an NHL team. I was existing in my little hockey world in Utah, just never anticipating the growth of the game that we've seen in the past 365. I mean, it's just, I feel so blessed, and I'm so excited that we have a professional women's league to be looking up to now, so that maybe they can play women's hockey in high school and not have to get laid out and hunted like I had to. I actually was on the same hockey team as my husband in high school. So that's my cute little factoid, that now we're raising some hockey kids, and we were on the same team way back when.
Did he at least stick up for you?
Never. Not once. No. He was good, and he was on varsity. I was on JV having a hard time, and then got mono at one point. it wasn't a glorious high school career, but I was happy to have been around hockey. I've just truly been obsessed since then. I think a lot of people think that everybody in Utah had a team. I didn't have much of an NHL life prior to having the Mammoth. It is kind of funny now looking back. Like, I didn't have my dad watching and showing me the Penguins like my buddies had, right? I really started on the ice with my friends.
That's kind of my question is, what changed for you in high school that you just said, hey, hockey's for me?
I don't know. My mom will tell you that I wanted to date them. I refuse to state that. I know that like a huge part of it is that hockey's family. I mean, I saw these people with these just deep relationships. I had some really, really good friends who were on the team, and I saw them having so much fun together, driving together, late nights together. And I was lucky enough that I had another girlfriend that said she would join with me. And so we just said, suit us up. We'll be on the team. It really feels wild looking back, but I feel like I've had a big personality since I was in high school. So it probably was like one person was like, well, you can't play. It's just a co-ed team, but you can't play. And I was like, I'll show you. So
And
I like it.
I mean, and co-ed hockey, especially at around that age too. I'm sure like a lot of the guys probably that they'll tend to play up. They want to look tough, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, it was typically the ones who couldn't stop that were the most violent, right? That didn't actually have their hockey stop, who would just decide that you were the target today. So, I mean, most of my high school hockey memories are almost negative, but my team won the state championship 2 years in a row. So it felt like a very big deal back then that we got, Letterman jackets and rings and hoodies that say champs. And so that kind of stuff, I think, just made it all the more romantic to lift the cup.
I mean, and to kind of go back to, I mean, you mentioned that camaraderie too, and I think that's the biggest thing that is part of grassroots, because everyone, there's a lot of people who that's their beginning with hockey, and they do all stuff like that. And then so I guess what I'm trying to get at is like, tell us a little bit more about that growth over there, and then how that transitioned over to the Alpacas and the Howl and just the women's hockey in Utah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys missed this weekend. Just the 3v3 tournament that the Mammoth had this weekend was grassroots to a T, because now these kids who get to start playing street hockey are that much closer than I was at that age. And we keep running into these Mammoth events where it's, they're even younger to get their hands on a hockey stick and start playing. In the beginning, when I started playing for the rookie league, we play out at the Oval. It's like a weekly league. But I think for us, our games are at, 9:30, 10 o'clock. Typically, it's a bunch of old ladies and moms, and a bunch of it is fun for that reason. I feel like, especially when I first started playing hockey, I was a middle school teacher. And so I spent all day being this very straight-laced kind of a person. And then I got to just go out and swear a lot and throw stuff and try to score goals. And a lot of that is friendships. I mean, I would be nowhere without all of these women that I get to play with now. And I'm just honored truly to be a part of it. It's been great.
Kelly Quiel's our guest, and we're going to talk about if you have a son or daughter or a niece or nephew, what opportunities are there for youth hockey? And look, maybe you, like Kelly, want to pick up the game a little later on in your shift, if you will. We're going to talk about those opportunities and more on Locked On Mammoth. And today's show is brought to you in part by FanDuel. Summer sports are in full swing, and whether you're all about baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make every game even more exciting. You already follow the action. Why not make it a little more thrilling? With FanDuel, you can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. It's easy to use FanDuel. It's fast to pay out. And it even makes regular season games feel like must-watch events, whether I'm watching a same-game parlay or watching that bet that I made ride into the ninth inning. FanDuel makes it feel like I'm part of the action. Are you new to FanDuel? New customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com to get started. Tom Callahan, Robyn Leaño here with you, Locked On Mammoth. If you like the show, please subscribe. We appreciate you being here. Thanks for being here. And we welcome our everydayers, and some of whom might have come back all the way from the Coyotes days and know Robyn loves the Growing the Game series. And so Kelly Quiel is joining us to help us kick it off. Kelly, you're the inaugural guest, so thank you so much for that.
I'm honored. Thank you for having me.
It's fantastic. I wanted to ask you, if someone does have, I know you said you had kids 3 and 6.
Yep.
So what opportunities are there, boys and girls, getting involved in the sport around that age?
We are so lucky now to have so many Mammoth sponsored events. I mean, just getting street hockey off the ground has been absolutely unbelievable. There are so many opportunities to come and watch hockey. You can watch the Alpacas for free, the Howl for free. And just getting to a game, I think really my sons didn't have an NHL team the last couple of years, and we loved going to the University of Utah hockey games. We loved going to our juniors leagues with the Outliers and the Ogden Mustangs. And just seeing hockey in the flesh like that is so inspiring. I think my son especially got more attached to the game because he was able to watch kind of lower level grassroots hockey. I doubt that he watches my games that much, but it's been fun to see how many people, especially in the last year, just start to go skating. And we are very lucky. I don't know about you Arizonans, but we are very lucky to have outdoor rinks. And so all winter we saw these rinks were packed with people just trying skating for the first time. And really that's the first step, if you will, the first skate, if you will, to getting out there. And then a bunch more people gathering up gear for each other. I mean, I've seen, especially with my women's league, hey, does anybody have elbow pads? Somebody wants to start, and gifting those things. So we're lucky in Salt Lake to have not only the Mammoth start to have some programs, but the county levels have some programs. And then if you want to get started, at least be able to strap on some skates. And that's been a lot of fun to start seeing people get better and better too.
Yeah, one of the things that I saw is the now the Mammoth been putting on, and this is something that all NHL teams do. They do these learn to play programs. They kind of teach not only kids, but even at the adult level, they'll have learn to play programs. Has there been anyone that's actually joined, the Alpacas or the Howl that have come directly from a learn to play program? They're like, hey, I want to keep doing this. How do I do more?
We are full. We could not have more, especially women, start to play with us. We're getting contacted left, right, and center. I have been running the Instagram pages for the Alpacas and the Howl this past year. And I mean, people are in my DMs all day that want to play. Like I said, we're finding gear for them all the time. And then just the camaraderie of having our kids all start playing. My son was a part of the inaugural learn to play program, which was all very exciting because our own Logan Cooley went through the whole program. And so my son got to start that in January. I was freezing because that was out at an outdoor rink. Oh. I was so cold, but he had the time of his life. And then he did a continue to play. The Mammoth have been putting on all sorts of adult clinics, as you said, as well. And then getting people as involved as sled hockey as they can. So we've had some sled hockey clinics too. We are lucky to have the new facility opening up. And the word on the street is that there's going to be some leagues within the new facility as well. So I think all of us are excited for that because there really are so many more people wanting to play the game that the ice is getting thin. pun intended, but there's so many people, and that's a good thing, right? It's a good problem to have. So if we can get some more rinks in here, get some more people playing, it's going to be a lot of fun.
I mean, that's why. Sorry, go ahead, Tom.
Oh, I was gonna ask Kelly. So if people are signing up and they want to contact you to talk about the Howl or to talk about the alpacas, is it seasonal? Is it on a rolling basis? Can they reach out to you now? Should they reach out to you now as opposed to waiting till like September, or how does that work?
We are playing all year. Especially my Howl team has open practices and scrimmages pretty often. We just ask that you know how to skate, and that's pretty much it. Jump in here with us. You're more than welcome to reach out to me, and I can even point you in the right direction. Like I said, we've been able to find people gear. We've been able to recommend styles of gear. Somebody said, messaged me pretty recently and said, I live in Tennessee, but I was curious if I tuck my skate tongue in or if you guys leave it out. So then I kind of pulled the team on their preferences to be able to answer her questions. And that is, I mean, I think it's the teacher in me too, right? But I just love growing the game. I love being a part of this community. I feel like I was promoting hockey, playing hockey, doing hockey before it hit this boom. And now I've been really lucky to be able to turn around and help some people get started. Have a better time than me getting hunted my first couple of years.
I mean, one of the things that I know has been, we kind of talked about it, but kind of want to go a little bit more into it. Talked about the Utah Howl kind of being a statewide thing. You've gone to, tournaments and events in Ogden. You've gone all over. Do you have players that will actually play out that are from there and join from whenever they're in town or whatever? How does that work?
It's a lot of work, honestly. I think just because women in general, but also just adults in general have such busy schedules. And so we've been able to have a pretty consistent practice time. We call it church because our ice time is Sunday morning. So we always say rink church. We're at rink church. And then we go to tournaments all over. Pretty much we have been able to pay dues and then put a team together or whatever it may be. And then there are, I would say, probably 5 more women's teams in Utah who have their own thing going on too. We have the Black Diamonds, and those teams are all paying for their own ice time, paying for their own tournaments. But then when a tournament comes and we need more players, it's like, hey, did the Vixen have a goalie that we need? Hey, did the Black Diamonds, whatever. And so some of those in Utah tournaments were like a cluster, a mixed. And some of those out-of-state tournaments, it's just a bunch of women. It's definitely true that all of us know each other. It's very loose rivalries, if you can even say rivalries. I don't think any of us take ourselves too seriously, but that's what makes it fun. And getting to know them as friends is one of the best things. I mean, we've had tournaments in Utah where we sit and hang out and chat for hours and hours and hours with people who aren't on our team or aren't in our division. And that's why hockey's great. Hockey's family. We can badmouth each other all day on the ice and then turn around and be besties.
Hey, I know, I'm right there with you. I mean, in my own house league in Arizona, we'll chirp each other on the ice, but then after it's all done, we'll go to a pizza place, sit down, and just share a beer. It's the best part. That's what I love. I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
One question I did want to ask, and it's this because I've talked to you, and there was the initial direct message I sent you way back when. I want to know more about that logo because the rainbow and tell me a little bit about the history behind that because I love it. It's
We have been so blessed to have so many different types of people who want to play hockey with us. And we've had some friends from the LGBTQ plus community who have wanted to play hockey, and we just don't discriminate. If you want to come play hockey, that's great. And we had a player who identifies as a trans male, but designed this rainbow jersey that is stunning, gorgeous, beautiful. And we have been rocking these rainbow jerseys for the last maybe 3 years. We have all sorts of people in the community on our team, people who consider themselves non-binary. We just are completely unbiased, I think, when it comes to that, which is a healthy perspective. I do get a lot of hate on the internet, as you can imagine, for rocking those rainbow jerseys, but I'm happy to take that on. And we have been complimented every single place that we've ever been. I think a lot of people in the LGBTQ plus community just feel comforted, I guess, feel loved by us. And so we're constantly getting approached by people saying, wow, those are sick. And we love rocking the rainbows.
I mean, tell me a little bit more of just what that level of inclusivity means. I mean, to you on that personal level, because I mean, there are, so many people, as I said, they interpret that differently, and they do all that. But at what level does that mean to you, having that level of inclusivity, bringing so many people from different backgrounds into the team?
I think when I have reflected on it, I felt so excluded in my high school team, right? It didn't feel like there was a place. And hockey should never be about that. Hockey should be family. Hockey should be that everybody's included. And I think that's what makes it great. So it really doesn't matter how you choose to identify or anything like that. Honestly, we've banned more people from just being rude than anything else, right? We're just grateful to have the amount of people that we have on the team who have similar values and similar perspectives. I think you see Utah as a glaring red state and think that there isn't this community of people, and it's just not entirely true. There's tons of people who have those similar values, and we just are honored to kind of represent a community who is often underrepresented, especially in sport.
It's our Growing the Game series here on Locked On Mammoth. One more break to go, and we're back to wrap things up with Kelly Quiel. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Locked On Mammoth, Tom Callahan, Robyn Leaño, and our guest, Kelly Quiel, who you can find on Twitter at Salt City Fun, skating for the Alpacas, the Howl, University of Utah women's color
Commentator, yeah,
because you're colorful. But Kelly, I wanted to ask you, just kind of looking at hockey in general, and knowing that you were there. Obviously, you've been on the hockey bandwagon for a long time. Mm-hmm. But what has it meant from your perspective, from a Howl perspective, an Alpaca's perspective, to now have the Mammoth in town? And what has been the knock-on effect for you guys as far as what you've seen in the uptick, if you will, in interest?
Okay, well, first of all, I have to reveal something insane to you, that I just got a Mammoth tattoo on Sunday.
Oh, what? Let's see this. Exclusive. All right. Oh my goodness.
I got the little Utah with the M in it.
Oh my!
And if you would have told me a year and a half ago that I would be getting a sports tattoo, I would have called you a liar. It's just the silliest thing I've ever heard. But this team deserves it. I just love them so much. I just have become so deeply involved, to the point that my sister is probably annoyed by me because I can't stop bringing up this hockey team. But I mean, I just have known so many people in the hockey community who have been watching other places have their home team. And the fact that we got one, I know, as sad as it was to move them out of Arizona, there were 20,000 people at least at that welcome party ready to welcome them in. And it could not have felt more joyful to me. It could not have been more meaningful to me. I think the way that they have kind of involved themselves, the way that the Mammoth have involved themselves in the community already is so meaningful. And I do think they are trying hard to incorporate these grassroots organizations who have been around here for a long time. They've been recognizing, like Don Korth is a fundraiser, basically has been collecting gear and giving out gear for the last 40 years in Utah, something absurd. And they gave him some money to keep doing what he's doing, and just to have some recognition of the things that are already happening in the community and kind of expanding on all of those things. I mean, the Mammoths have just changed my life for sure. It's on my body forever now, but it's just been awesome.
Plus, I know there's also just on the on the other side of things, the other fan aspect. I know I've seen a lot of interaction over the summer from a group that I know you've shared some love with, known as the Doners. Tell me about that community too, because I mean, I know Josh Doan no longer with the Mammoth, very sad.
Yeah.
Especially when he went to Arizona over here. But what about that community as well? Because that's also like, that just means so, like because I mean, that's what hockey is again, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think just as you're focusing on these like grassroots things, I have a friend named Joanna who helps organize the Ladies of the Mammoth group, and Joanna organized a photo at the puck every single home game, and all the women in the Utah hockey community would meet at this big Utah Hockey Club puck for every single game. And just stuff like that just makes me giddy, right? That this is just like a beautiful part of this organization. I can't speak for any of the donors, but they're definitely still in mourning over Josh, as am I. But stuff like that is just like the silly, fun community aspect that I feel like we can't get enough of. I mean, there are so many people in Utah who cheer for this team now. I get pointed to constantly, and people just go spicy tuna if I'm wearing a hockey club shirt, because they just, even if you don't know anything, you know something.
Right.
Typically it's just spicy tuna. And so it's been wild to watch how many people have been involved. I think like I said, everybody knows a little something, and that's been exciting to not have a team, to have this team, and then to sell out every single game. Like it's just cool stuff. So I'm obviously very biased, but it's been really fun to watch the Mammoth.
And you mentioned that, already you froze through a clinic that, your son was participating in, and, so I imagine there's a lot of people who have a lot of cool moments like that, but what so far in this just barely over a year, can you believe it? What moment stands out for you the most so far in your experience?
I have a really silly one too, but I do think that first meeting of the youth hockey, I think it was like January 8th, and it was 4 degrees. And this was like a culmination of so much work that people have put together to get this youth hockey program started, because we had a try-on. We got to go in their locker room during the try-on and see the locker room, which was super exciting for my 6-year-old. And then that first like learn to play day, and seeing every single kid with their learn to play patch and their big Utah, and just they were so excited to get out there on the ice. My tears were freezing. It was just like really, really special for me, because I had always known that I would want my kids to be involved in hockey, but having something that felt like it was a really big deal could not have been cooler. And then we had videos of the mountains in the background of us at the outdoor rink. It's just stunning. But one of my silliest moments of this past year with hockey was when we were at the game, and somehow a notification went out to every single person who had the app that said that they won a signed stick. And this was maybe in the middle of the first period. And it said, please pick up your signed stick by the end of the second period. So I'm sitting in my seat, I get 3 text messages from friends who actually couldn't attend the game, but said, hey, I just want a signed stick. Can you go get it for me? Every other person I look around, everybody's looking at their phone. People are getting up out of their seats. And I was like, this is pandemonium.
Oh my God.
So one of the craziest moments, I mean, it has nothing to do with the game, right? But the fact that like the hockey players, the team was trying so hard on the ice while just this pandemonium was happening of these signed sticks being given out that didn't actually exist. So then, of course, the comedian that I am, I walked down to the guest services desk, and I go, I want a signed stick, just as loud as I possibly could, so that they were all a little bit stunned. They were like, there's no sticks. We're sorry. We're sorry. Just those first season hiccups that I feel like, was just such a joy to be a part of. I mean, like I said, being at the puck picture for every game felt so meaningful to me. Kids wearing their youth jerseys to the games felt so meaningful to me. And then, I don't know if you guys caught a game, but the sides of the arena, you have a really hard time seeing some of the ice, right? Everybody's talked about those obstructed seats, but they sold those off for $10 and gave those out for free. So those were almost like the party sections. So a couple of the times sitting up there, you were really just watching the Jumbotron, but it was a party to be up there. Free hot dogs. It was all good stuff.
Nice.
Just,
they did a lot of things right, didn't they? I mean, they had budget concessions. They got people into the arena. Like they just really, they passed the vibe check.
Yeah, 1,000%. I mean, I just obviously, again, I'm biased, but it could not have been a better inaugural season. I think the success of the program is being attributed to Ryan Smith as such. And I think we're all grateful that the ownership has just taken such a big buy-in into what hockey is and what hockey can do. And it's been fun to watch.
All right, Robyn, Kelly,
I think
you guys.
One thing I want to know now is
go ahead, Robyn, because I have a thing I'm going to do here in a minute. So you go ahead.
All right, no worries. One thing I want to know now is what's next for the Alpacas and the Howl women's hockey.
The Howl have to go beat Robyn in a tournament in Portland, I guess. I mean, that's stressful, but I think we can handle it. We are crushing the rest of Summer League, which is all exciting stuff. And we're going to keep going viral on Instagram, which is what we do best. Just growing the game and going to all sorts of shenanigan games with each other. We have a good time.
Well, that was it. I was teeing you guys up. Robyn and Kelly head to head in a couple of weeks. We got to talk about this because I want to hear the smack talk. That's what I want to hear.
Hold on, I got to start thinking of chirps now because I want
to hear I absolutely want the best of compilation.
See, Tom, you got to get a couple of beers in me before the chirps begin.
Do we have live barn in that rink? Maybe you can tune in, Tom, and live broadcast us.
That would actually be hilarious.
It's gonna be
you're
fun,
the only two that I would know. So I'd be you two would steal the show. You're the only two names I'd know.
Yeah, perfect.
It is going to be fun. By the way, for those that don't know, the Portland United Hockey League, which is a women's hockey league based out of Portland, is putting on a tournament. Kind of a lot of people coming from all over California, Utah, Seattle, all those that are going to play in I think 4 different division tournament. The Utah Howl and the team I represent, Team Trans, will actually be facing off against each other. So it's going to be a good time. Honestly, I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm really excited. We have an out of uniform, which we're excited about too. We all got bird shirts, so it's going to be a good time. We always have fun.
You guys are out of pocket, Kelly.
We know. That's the point. What life is not that serious. We do not need to be that serious. Nobody's calling me from the NHL to come play, so I think it's fine.
I think we'll definitely need to get a little team up picture. So just for all the Utah hockey fans out there, just to make it even fun.
Yep, I think so too. Sweaty jersey swap.
There we go.
After chirping each other the whole time.
You like hand it over on the end of your stick so you don't have to touch it here.
And then don't touch my jersey.
Yeah, just drop it on the ice. I'll pick it up with my stick. Yeah. Put it in a bag.
Yeah,
So,
that'll be good enough.
Robyn, anything else you want to ask Kelly before we put a wrap on this one?
No, I mean, I feel like it's just a, overall good conversation. Again, just want to say thanks, thanks for coming on. Talking grassroots hockey always means so much to me. Someone that's been a part of that only started playing hockey here in Arizona a few years ago, thanks to an interview I did from this podcast. Like it means so much to me. So thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so fun.
So if you guys are interested in reaching out and getting in touch with Kelly at Salt City Fun on Twitter, also look for the Instagram for the Utah Alpacas and the Utah Howl. I know the Howl also have a Facebook page. Do the Alpacas have a Facebook page?
Yep.
Okay. So you can find them on Facebook as
and
well.
Salt City Fun for me on Instagram too.
Okay, there you go. So lots of ways to reach out and find Kelly if you have questions or just want to figure out how to get involved in the scene in hockey. Robyn, where can they find us if they want to reach out with questions?
Yeah, you can find us just about everywhere. You can comment on our YouTube channel. We always respond to all our comments there. You can find us on social media, primarily on Twitter/X, whatever you just prefer to call it these days, at Locked On Mammoth. That's at Locked On Mammoth. You can find me personally at Robyn_Leaño. That is Robyn with a Y _Leano.
Mostly I'm on Blue Sky at Tom Talks, but I've started going around Twitter again. Hockey Free Agency sucked me back in at Callahan there. So feel free to reach out. And our thanks to Kelly for being with us here today. And for Robyn, I'm Tom. Thank you, as always, for being a part of Locked On Mammoth.